What's going on, everybody? All right, so you guys get to watch me at 4 times the speed. Yes, I don't walk this fast in real life because if I did, I wouldn't be so fat. Anyways, let's get into the top. Let's go top 3 things that I've learned from this year. We are a third through the year, so let's go through the business aspects. Obviously, I go into more juicy details on my Patreon page. I'll link it in the description if you guys want to join. But that is behind a paywall because, well, I share a bunch more stuff on there anyway. So basically, we're going to do the top 3 things I've done great for this year so far, top 3 things going forward that I'm going to be doing, implementing, and then obviously we're going to get into some of the bigger mistakes I've made this year because, you know, you've followed this channel long enough, you know I make mistakes, and you're here watching this video so you don't make those same mistakes. So let's get right into it. Top 3. All right. Number 1, outstanding. I hired a bookkeeper. That's a full-time bookkeeper on my end. I literally do not do anything for my books. They just... they get done by him. I'm paying him obviously a decent rate, but I don't have to put any receipts in, nothing. I basically don't have to touch my QuickBooks. Only thing I do as far as QuickBooks is concerned is I send invoices and send customers their paid invoices that they require, you know, that I owe them. Other than that, that is basically it. I'll input some payments as well, but that is it. I don't have to. And I job cost. The main thing for this is I job cost everything on all jobs except for the ones that I don't really need to, because obviously if it's a complete 100% sub job where I don't do anything, then I already know my gross profit and my net profit for that, so it's pretty simple. But most other jobs, yes, I absolutely job cost it, and that's everything. That's every screw, everything that I put into it, every receipt that I have that goes into it, all sub payments, all that kind of stuff. And again, that's why it's a higher rate. And I did have a problem finding a bookkeeper that does that because I did call around, I did shop around, and most of them were around $200 to $300, but they didn't offer job costing. And I want job costing. I want to know where I'm at in the business, and that is definitely worth it, and it's definitely worth the price for admission for that kind of stuff. Number 2 on this would be I paid myself. I incorporated the business. I am no longer an LLC. I am an incorporated S-Corp business, which means I pay myself. Well, actually, the bookkeeper actually set that up for me. Pay myself weekly, and obviously money withdrawals from my bank business account goes into my personal account, and that's it. So I basically get a weekly paycheck for myself. You might think, I'm like 4, 5, 6, 7 years into this thing here, and yeah, this is the first time I've always had to manually pay myself or take owner withdrawals, stuff like that. This is different, and obviously I'm paying taxes like I'm supposed to, blah blah blah, and we'll go from there. So paying myself, being incorporated was the number 2 thing that I did great for this year anyway. So, and of course you guys can see I'm playing with my phone right there trying to find my next audiobook that I'm listening to while I'm working anyway. So highly recommend a couple books out there. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Profit First. There's a couple other ones out there if you guys are thinking about business. Those, no affiliate to the channel, those ones are fantastic. I think I've done Rich Dad Poor Dad twice already. Just it's entertaining, and it's great info. So back to the topic here. Number 3 I've done this year besides incorporating. Well, technically it's number 4th, but I also I've incorporated. So basically, tax reasons. We're going to get into it, but we are going to be at the higher. We're making the most money. This is going to be the best year for revenue in the business by far, 150%. Matter of fact, I think from last year we killed it last year, but this year is going to be more than last year and the year prior combined. So that being said, number 4, I hired a second crew, like basically a tier 1 crew, if you will. I already have one, but I have a second one, and they have been knocking the work out regularly, and it's helping because I am super busy. I overbooked my work myself, which we'll get into my mistakes here in a little bit on this video. But I absolutely hired, I think, a winning crew. They're fantastic. We get along. It's basically I've had some problems with other subcontractors we'll get into, but I have a second A crew, if you will. So there's A, B, and C crews. I'm getting rid of all C crews. I do have a B crew still, but I'm tired of dealing with subpar subcontractors. It is costing me money, and it's just a zap on my time. It just sucks. Period. Like people like the low hanging fruit, things that you cancel out of your business. Definitely take care of it. So that's the top 3 for this year going forward. Now, the top 3 going forward for the rest of the year, we do have a couple. I am going to start investing in my retirement. I've been talking, we're going to be setting money aside for that because it's about that time. I have not invested anything in my retirement except for a little bit of Bitcoin, which is not much at all. And yeah, I think that's about it for investment in retirement. So, anyways, yeah, typical contractor, right? So, uh, yes, investing in retirement, putting some money away, kind of just saving, just being able to have that profit. Because if you read Profit First, you'll see, hey, there's ways of doing it, and I'm going to implement it as well. So, next one will be investing in equipment. I am definitely going to be investing in some more equipment. You guys already know I have a second dump trailer. Yes, I have that one. It is what it is. There's going to be, we got to pay some debt off first, but we're going to have a skid steer this year. We're going to have a couple other things as well coming in, but things that save me time, like me, paying the amount of money I pay for my bookkeeper. It's not a crazy amount, but it's definitely, it's not nothing. And I'm basically buying my time back. It's just I need to get my time back, and I'm spending my money to get my time back so I can use that time to either make more money, quality of life, spending time with family. But whatever it is, I need to change. I need to change, and I will change for that anyway. Next one for the top 3 going forward. I guess I have 4 on this one too. But firing low production subs, and I already did. I fired 2 subcontractors in the last couple of weeks alone, and we'll get into the bad things about that. But yeah, it sucks. But I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's off my plate. Just dealing with the phone calls from customers and the subcontractors. Just constantly just giving me just questions that they should already know the answer to. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for the price they're paying or they're charging me. It's just not worth it. So, and then the last one, number 4, is I'm gonna reevaluate my subcontractor agreement and brand impact. So I want to be able to, I'm working on my, I went from like 3 Google reviews the beginning of this year to now that I think I have almost 10. So trying to get it out there and basically get the brand out there for peak contracting. Can I get in front of people, spend some more money on marketing, and just focus on my reputation a little bit, and 100% cut, trim the fat. All the bad subcontractors, work on it, taking away all their work, and which I will. It's pretty easy. I can go from job to job, but it's tough. I do have a relationship with these guys, and some of them, they're cool. It's not personal. It's just business, and it's not good business dealing with them when they, everybody kind of knows the subcontract, the contractor, like they paycheck to paycheck, shows up on time. I'm going to be way more strict with my subcontractors because I am giving, I have a lot of work, and I want that work done in a reasonable time, and I need it. I just don't want to deal with customers asking me a bunch of times where my subs are, what's going on, and then I hear excuses and whatnot. So, yes, those are the top 4 going forward for this year. This has been such a great year so far. We are at over 400K for revenue, which is not gross profit. Don't get me wrong, that is not gross profit, but yeah, we're definitely on our way to the over 1 million mark, or 1.2 million mark was my goal for this year. So let's get on to the big mistakes for this year so far. And well, my big mistake so far this year has been clear as, I don't know, like it's clear as the air you guys are looking at me through right now. I hired the wrong subcontractors, and it's showing. So I have one subcontractor who didn't do anything for me on a job site. Basically got some brick down to the foundation, and took 9 days to do something that the contractor that I hired, when I fired that contractor and I hired the other contractor, it took them and his crew 7 hours to do the work. But so for some reason, that sub that I originally hired took him I think it was 7 or 8 days. Granted, there's a couple of rain days in there, but all he got done was maybe a couple hours worth of work. So hiring, and I obviously I already talked to him. I gave him I think until next week, the second week in, or first week in May, or second week in May, whatever it was, to pay me back my money that he owes me from a deposit. Now I'm still going to pay him for the work he's done. I'm not unfair, but he didn't earn his entire deposit that I gave him. So he can give that back to me, or I can take him to small claims court. No biggie. I don't want to do it, but it looks like that's the way it's going to roll anyway. So next one is I made the mistake of involving business and family, and it cost me in the business $2,300, and that's on me. That's a mistake that I made, and it won't happen again. I am not doing that ever again. As far as any kind of family member or friends, it's just not. It's no, absolutely not. Again, it's another mistake that I made. So yeah, and then of course I hired another subcontractor. and he just dropped the ball on a job, and it's way over. It must have been way over his head. Like, we've had some good jobs prior, but this was for some reason not his cup of tea for something, and his skill level was not up to task, and it's probably going to cost me about $6,000. I'm gonna try to recoup a little bit from him as well, but at the time, and I granted the customer is super cool, which only saved me because I mean, this would have been a bad review on Google if this customer wasn't so cool about it. And it helps with, I'm being super, I'm always available via phone and text with the customers, even though my wife, hates that kind of thing. But, communication really, really helps with everything when it comes to, even bad stuff. Like with, like every job's going to have some sort of, any larger project's going to have some sort of like, miscommunication here or there, or somebody had some sort of, expectation that wasn't, everybody, if you're listening to this, you probably had some sort, your customers probably had some sort of crazy expectation at one point or another where you didn't give them they just had it from like, I don't know, HGTV or whatever, but you need to have clear and concise communication. And it saved me on multiple job sites being able to, this is what's going on and this is what we're going to be doing going forward. And I've had other jobs where, customers actually like they've been demanding of certain things that they actually do not have a contractual right or anything that's involved in the contract that I have, they're requesting things, and I can just refer to the contract. That's why I have it. Hey, per our contract, you're not entitled to jack poop. So, but I mean, I didn't say it just like that. I just say, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what happens. Like, yes, having some, subs that don't do their job. Yeah, fire them, but it takes time to get a second guy on. And once they do, it's going to be rocking and rolling. Explain to them, yeah, it sucks. They have to wait a week or two, but they don't have to incur the cost like I do for hiring somebody else and trying to recoup a deposit from somebody else as well. So you just have to. It goes with communication, and of course, you have to have like I have the workload where it's not like the you've heard the FU money, but this is like the FU workload. I don't need any of these jobs. Like, I could literally walk away, refund, like, don't want to refund deposits or anything, but like, hey, cut ties. Yeah, you go your own way. I go my own way. I still have plenty of work. Let bygones be bygones. If they don't like me, I have yet to have, I've only fired one customer, but no other actual customer actually wanted to fire me based off my performance. It's always either been off of subs performance or just on their end, maybe some unrealistic expectations. So, yeah, anyways, but yeah, hiring the wrong guy. So we got at least probably $8,000 to $9,000 of my own money coming out of my bank account this year so far to recoup, just to cover up somebody else's bad actions, bad work performance, whatever it may be. It's just, yeah. So yeah, I can go forward. Going forward, I'm gonna nip that in the butt right now. Like it's already before you guys watch this video or listen to this as a podcast. Definitely going to be implementing this stuff anyway. So I am not another thing about this year is me sitting here. I am not as efficient as I want to with my time. Me buying, me paying for a bookkeeper, that frees me up. That frees probably hours of my week up. And I'm not implementing that. I'm not taking advantage of that like I should be, and that's a mistake on my end. Like I know that I have two businesses, basically a YouTube social media business, like keeping the YouTube channel kind of up and running, and also obviously doing the business as far as what you guys are watching here, tool trailer, getting out in the contractor stuff like that. So yeah, I need to be able to manage my business and manage my time a lot more effective and under promise to customers. If I'm going to be on site, do I even need to be do a self audit? Do I even need to be on site? Do I need to go there and say hi? No, I can just call them and say, and I've caught myself a couple times and I just made a phone call instead of actually stopping by because for one, it saves me probably over an hour of my day. And two, the customers, they get to hear from me even quicker and we're good to go. So, that goes into my last mistake so far this year is I'm overbooked. I'm overbooking my days, and that goes having to go to certain places for whether it be, inspections from inspectors or customers want, they want to hear my, they want to see my face. They want to, hey, just want to touch base, which is fine. I like to at least touch base once a week with customers in person, let them know I exist, let them know, give them an update on their everything. But we gotta nip some of that in the butt because there's obviously I get between 3 to probably 20 inquiries a week as far as estimates, and half of them, if you guys are on my Patreon, you'll see those too. Like they all expect to see me. Like, oh, why don't you just swing by and come give me an estimate? And Every time I'm like, no, you can. I don't give on-site estimates for free. We can do it this way. Everything, all my practices, and I sold one job last week, cold first call. She called me, and explained to her my process, and it was the first time we spoke on the phone at all or any kind of contact. And she hired me right on the spot. Told me to send over the contract, which I have DocuSign now, which is another top. Actually, you know what? Top four now or top five. I use DocuSign, and I basically email my contracts to customers, and it saved me so much time and effort and paper. Fantastic. I would highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I use DocuSign for my sub agreements and my contracts, and it's been fantastic. Totally well worth the money. I think it's like $300 a year. Definitely go ahead and do it, guys. It's been fantastic. So, but yeah, overbook my days. I guess that's basically all I got for you guys right now. We're almost at the 16-minute mark here, but yeah, here we go. I mean, 2023 is going to be a great year. I appreciate it, you guys. Like and subscribe. Links in the description for Patreon. If you guys want to email me, whatever you guys want to do, say hi. But I appreciate all the support. Thank you.